my channel, which I doubt anybody does, but if you do, you'll have noticed that I privated all my videos. I probably will unprivate them if anyone watches this. It's just going to be a quick sort of video. I can do like a full update video if you want to know where I've been or what I've been up to. We are in my spare room right now, and unfortunately this wardrobe only has one door, so I can't hide this. These are the books that I read last year, if you'd like a full video of those. I'm going to have to get a new phone at some point because I recorded like 2 minutes and it told me that I had no space, even though I've already recorded this video once, which I deleted. So I don't understand that, but never mind. So yeah, as I said, I hope you're all okay. I know it's pretty rough out there at the moment, but I'm sending you all lots of love, and I'm thinking of you all. So, I've got 2 books to show you that I've read this year so far. I'm trying to read 26 books this year. I thought I heard something. I'm trying to read 2020. No, I'm not. I'm trying to read 26 books in 2026, which I've already been told by my sister that she reads much more than that. But she has a Kindle, so that's my excuse. Although I am a bit of a scroller, I'm trying to reduce my scrolling time in 2026. Anyways, I'm going to show you the books that I've read so far. So the first one is called 7 Faceless Saints by M.K. Lob. And this is a YA book, I would say. I'm pretty sure it is anyway. I actually went to Waterstones a few months ago to get presents for my sister, my other sister, who does read physical books. And I asked the lady at Waterstones for fantasy books, romantasy books, and this is one of the ones she recommended. I actually went with 2 different books for my sister, which I kind of want to read myself as well. I haven't delved that far into fantasy and romantasy books, so it's kind of new for me. But I liked this book. I didn't end up giving this to her because I didn't think she'd like it, because it is a YA. So, and she's older than me. But this is basically about an Italian-inspired city called Ambrosia. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And the main characters, there's 2 main characters. The main character is called Roz, and she is a disciple of the Saint Patience, and disciples have magical powers. There are 7 saints, but one of them is like disregarded. No one worships that saint, and there's no disciples of that saint anymore because of a war. And Roz wants to get justice for her father, who was killed by the military. So she basically infiltrates the Palazzo, which is like the base building in Ambrosia, to spy for the rebellion because she's a member of the rebellion. But she also trains as a disciple for the Saint Patience to go like undercover. She's a double agent. And then Damien Venturi is the youngest captain in the history of Palazzo Security. And his father is a very important figure in the military. But Damien went to the front line in the war that's continuing, and he's like haunted by that experience. disciple is murdered, Roz and Damien have to team up to hunt the murderer. And they have to face their emotions as they try to uncover corruption and conspiracies. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. I think I gave it like 3.5 stars. I'm using Storygraph. Yeah, I think I gave it about 3.5 stars. I did enjoy it, but I did think some of the story, like the world building, was quite hard to follow at times. And it definitely feels like a YA. I'll just say that. Which I didn't realise it was until I actually looked it up. Like before I read it. Okay, so that's that book. I have actually got the second book, which is a duology. Is that how you say it? I don't know. But that's called Disciples of Chaos, I believe. And I was a bit confused with that book when I read the end because there was an epilogue. I won't give it away, but it said something in it, and I was like, what? And I realised it was the first book. So that makes sense. The next book is called When the Cranes Fly South by Lisa. I don't know how you pronounce that. She's Swedish. Ridson. I don't know. I'm sorry if that's wrong. But this was a new buy. I shouldn't have bought this because I've got books that I haven't read. But what can I say? Also, I'm a sucker for a book in Waterstones, which, if you don't know, is a bookstore chain in the UK. I'm a sucker for a Waterstones book that is like a debut fiction prize winner, or it was shortlisted for a debut fiction prize, because two books, one of them that I read last year, and one of them that I read like 2 years ago, I think, 3 years ago actually, that were both Waterstones Fiction Prize winners, I think, or shortlisted for the Fiction Prize for the debut side of things, were amazing. So anything that says that on it, I will buy, if I like the sound of it, obviously. I can discuss those books in a separate video if you'd like. I might do it anyway. Anyways, so this book, I loved this book so much. It also has a quote on it from Jacqueline Wilson, who I read so many of her books. So many of her books when I was a child, and growing up. So I trust her completely. I trust her with my life. This is the exclusive edition as well. I think it's just the cover art. This is actually translated from Swedish. And I think it did really well in Sweden as well. Anyways, yes, so this is the author's debut book. And it's basically about an elderly man whose health is deteriorating. He lives in a small rural village in the north of Sweden. His only visitors are his care team and his son, who he doesn't always get along with. But he has his friend called, I don't know how you pronounce it, but I would say it's Ture, Ture, and his beloved dog Sixten for company. But his son Hans is basically saying that the dog needs to be taken away because Bo can't care for the dog anymore. But this is the same son, his only son, who he's trying to mend his relationship with him before he dies, basically. But everyone is telling him like what to do, and he really doesn't like being told what to do. So can Bo speak up for himself, or will Sixten be taken away from him? I'm not gonna lie, as well, who I've heard is a really good author. So I might pick up some of his books next. It won the Swedish Book of the Year award. I loved the character of Bo. It's so interesting to read books from different perspectives. This book hit quite close to home for me because I don't have any grandparents anymore. They've all passed away, unfortunately. And also, I don't know if this is a spoiler, but Bo's wife, Frederica, she has dementia, and she lives in a care home, and my granddad had dementia, so it's always tough to read things that you've actually gone through, or someone you know has gone through them. But it was really, really good. Like, I laughed, I'm not gonna lie to you, I cried from probably from about 200, page 200 onwards until the end. Yeah, it was rough, like full on, like crying, which has never happened to me before when I've read a book. But I think it just really, sorry. It was like a hair or something. Which has never happened to me before reading a book, but I don't know, this one just really got me. So I recommend it if you need like a good cry, or if you just want to read like a book from a different perspective. So yeah, it's got there's Bo and Sixten. I'd never heard that name before either. I don't know if that's a name that's common in Swedish. It's common in Sweden, I don't know. But yeah. And what I really loved as well is that the author wrote this book. It was inspired by the notes that her granddad's care team would leave, so that they knew like what had happened to him and that he had his medication and things like that. So there's like little care notes every so often, and it's punctuated by days. And then the times are on there and who's left a note, because he has different carers. And I really loved that. But it was a bit different. Yeah, that is called When the Cranes Fly South. There's Bose and there's Sixten. So yeah, those are the two books that I've read so